Jim McMillian starts to move, goes up for the jumper, it is yes! Dotson recovers, lays it up, good! What a play by Dotson!
To mark at a low post, he goes up with a jumper, good!
Dotson has it on the right side. Into the corner to Lasik, underneath, goes up for the backhanded layup. It's good, and he was fouled.
McMillian with a clear lane, moves in, underneath Heyward, layup, good! And a foul on the play.
Williams to Wolf. Wolf bounces to McMillian, lays it in. Beautiful pass by Elliott Wolf. Wolf shot, thank you. Push court to Metz, alone through 20. Jumper is in. For the Lions, a bounce pass into a low post on the left side to Vogel. The hook shot is good. Dotson steals the ball. He has the ball going in for the layup. Goes up for the shot. Good.
Low post to McMillian. McMillian drives. They hit up and in.
Those have been some of the sounds and names of the McMillian-Dotson era of Columbia basketball. 3 years in which the Columbia basketball team has won 63 games and lost 14 for an .818 percentage. It was an era indeed of unparalleled accomplishments for Columbia basketball.
The first important work before this period could begin was the recruitment of the athletes who would eventually make up the team. Different players have come to Columbia for many different reasons. Coach Jack Rowan and then Jim McMillian described Jimmy's reasons for deciding on Columbia.
In Jimmy's particular case, I think a majority of the credit has to go to his mother. She was determined that her boy would go to a university which would offer him a great education, and that the education had to be a primary factor. Just the fact that the education was of prime importance, that it was obvious that Columbia was going to be playing a big-time schedule in which he could thoroughly enjoy himself, and that we were a New York City school, which he wanted, became dominant factors.
The main reason I would say that I came to Columbia was because of the education and the prestige that goes along with having an education from an Ivy League school. And the second reason would be because of the coach and the fact that I wanted to stay in New York.
Heyward Dotson's reasons were different. With McMillian, Columbia was in the number one position. For Dotson, according to Coach Rowan, Columbia was one school being considered. A close relationship with an alumnus and a meeting on campus with black students helped Heyward make his decision. After a brilliant freshman campaign, McMillian and Dotson were ready to join the varsity, and an era was ready to begin. The Lions entered the 1967-68 varsity season with guarded optimism. The return of 7-foot center Dave Newmark, the addition of the two promising sophomores in McMillian and Dotson, combined with the return from the previous year's team of Roger Walazik, Billy Ames, Larry Borger, and Bruce Metz, pointed toward a fine Columbia team. However, the Ivy and non-Ivy schedule for the Lions was quite strong, and no one could really forecast how far this talented team would go. Coach Jack Rowan now looks back at his preseason feelings.
I thought we were going to be a good, strong team. I more or less got the feeling from other coaches in the Ivy League that some teams were going to be so strong that we would be fortunate with sophomores and people who had never played together to finish fourth. I thought that the team could be a very good team. Whether or not they were going to be good enough to beat Princeton, who, in my opinion, had a phenomenal team that year, was certainly going to be a question, but I thought we were capable of being in there.
Led by McMillian and Dotson, Columbia opened up with 4 straight victories. Against NYU, McMillian began to emerge as a potential All-American, scoring 39 points and picking up 14 rebounds. However, a slump followed the victories, as the Lions lost an important Ivy contest against a strong Cornell team and fell to Georgetown in double overtime. A loss at Fordham gave the Lions a 4-3 record as the holidays began. The team was not playing well as a unit, and Newmark was inconsistent, probably because of his one-year layoff. His 29-point effort at Fordham, however, offered some hope. The Lions entered their first holiday festival tournament at Madison Square Garden as nobody's pick to win. They surprised everyone by destroying West Virginia 98-71 in their first Garden appearance since the 1951 NCAA tournament. The Lions shot .551 from the floor as Super Soft McMillan tallied 40 points. Louisville, led by All-Americans Butch Beard and Wes Unseld, was expected to be a different story. The Lions were heavy underdogs, and Newmark's bout with the flu could not help. The evening began as expected.
Ames on the near side, gets it into McMillan. Jimmy drives baseline, lays it up, misses. Rebound comes off Unseld. Unseld up court to Selby. Selby over the midcourt stripe. Puts up the jump shot from 15 and hits. 20-9. Louisville is beginning to open it up. Columbia in big trouble at the moment.
The Lions managed to hold on and come back. We'll listen to some first-half highlights, picking up action with McMillan at the line for a 1-and-1.
McMillan's first free throw. Long. Roger Laser gets the rebound, lays it up and in. A big rebound for the Lions. They trail by 5. This is the smallest deficit it's been in a long time. Beard drives on Newmark. Now he stops, goes up with a hook shot. It's no good. Steps on Beard. The Lions can cut their lead to 3. 2:41 to go in the first half. Bill Ames with the ball. Crosses the midcourt line. Now he stops. Looks for someone to pass to Newmark at a low post. He goes up with a jumper. Good! Low post to McMillan. McMillan drives, lays it up and in. Beautiful move. McMillan over Wes Unseld. Butch Beard with the ball for Louisville in forecourt. Being guarded by Dotson. Dotson's done a whale of a job on him.
At halftime, Louisville, shooting a torrid 66.7%, was in front 39-32. Unseld and Beard had led the way. The Lions fell down by 10 early in the second half, but 2 straight Newmark baskets started another surge back.
Columbia down by 4 points. They have the ball, 16 minutes to go in the game. To Dotson, to Walazic. Walazic right at the top of the key, guarded by... He drives all the way in, lays it up, no good. Newmark's got the rebound, fighting for it underneath, lays it up and in. Newmark hits, the lead is 2. 47-45.
Louisville spurted again, but Columbia again came back. McMillan closed the gap to 2 points at 11:08, and a Walazic free throw cut the Louisville lead to but 1.
Roger Walazic has it to Bruce Metz. The Lions can take the lead. They score here. Trying to keep calm. Metz to Dotson. He almost loses it. Now he drives to the lane, lays it up, in! The Lions lead!
After that, it was a seesaw battle. Unseld missed 3 key free throws, and with the score 63-63, Columbia again could take the lead.
Lions are working very carefully. They can sense a big victory. McMillan holds the ball high over his head to Borger at a high post. Borger spins, holds the ball to Heyward Dotson along the right side, guarded by Beard. Underneath to McMillan, lays it up and in! The Lions up by 2.
With 3:22 remaining, Beard gave Louisville a 67-66 lead. It proved to be their final points and final lead of the night.
2 minutes to go in the game. Newmark at a high post. He spins on Unseld, goes up with a hook. Good! The Lions go in front. 68-67.
Unseld missed a shot. McMillan missed a free throw. Unseld was then fouled.
Tense. First one is up in the air. No good!
He missed the second. With the Lions up by 1, Newmark was fouled and went to the line.
He's setting at the line. Puts it up in the air. Good! The Lions up by 2. Can Newmark make it 3? Dave looks at the clock. The Lions 69. Louisville 67. A big free throw. Newmark set. Puts it in the air. Good. The Lion fans are going wild. Louisville quickly with the ball. Beard in forecourt, being guarded by Dotson. Along the right side, Louisville will have to score quickly. Beard moves to the head of the key. Now he stops to Unseld along the right side. Unseld holds high over his head to Holland. Holland to Beard, underneath to Unseld. Unseld spins on Newmark, lays it up. No good! Jim McMillian gets the rebound! The Lions up by 3 to Dotson. Dotson in forecourt, holds the ball to Newmark. 48 seconds to go. In the corner to McMillan. McMillan, the Lions will stall. Underneath to McMillan, drives, lays it up and in. Whistle and a foul. Foul on Butch Beard. The Lions up 70-67. 39 seconds to go. Jim McMillian will be at the line for a 1-and-1. McMillian is set. Pressure situation. His free throw is good. Good. McMillian walks away from the free throw line. The Lions up by 4. Second free throw is up and good. Good. 72-67. Quickly in forecourt. Beard brings the ball across the midcourt line. Drives on Dotson, looking for the three-point play. Drives down the lane. Takes a heave. No good. Tap. Billy Ames has the rebound. McMillan with the ball, cross court to Walezik. Walezik drives, lays it up and in. The Lions lead by 7, 74-67. The Lions fans are going crazy. Deacon in forecourt. Unseld at the high post. Unseld drives, shoots, no good. Rebound, no good. Ames with a rebound. Rolls around. Columbia ball out of bounds. 9 seconds to go in the game. The Lions will win. Jim McMillian with the ball, crosses midcourt to Walezik. Walezik shoots, no good. Unseld with a rebound. 2-1. It's all over. The Lions win. 74-67. The whole Columbia side is coming out.
The Lions had done the incredible, paced by McMillan's 24 points, Walezik's 17, 15 for Newmark, and 11 for Dotson. Larry Borger spelled Big Dave ably, and Dotson was brilliant against Beard. After the game, Beard called Dotson the second-best defensive player in the country, behind only JoJo White. The finals, pitting Columbia against St. John's, was the first all-New York final in festival history, and the Lions were the first Ivy team to reach that stage. Again, the Lions were underdogs, and again they surprised everyone. The game was close all the way, as the biggest lead in the first half was 5 points for St. John's. McMillan was cold early and sat down briefly. Late in the first half, the Lions, trailing most of the way, fought back.
Passes to McMillan in the near corner. Jim, who has only 2 points, fakes the jumper, now drives towards the basket to Newmark, all alone underneath, lays it up and in. Great play by McMillan. He set that up for Newmark, 23-22. That's why Jim McMillan is a good ball player. He not only can shoot, he can play defense, he can do it all. He set that play up beautifully.
At halftime, despite only 5 points for McMillan, the Lions, behind Newmark, led 27-25. At that time, NYU coach Lou Rossini commented on the game.
From where I sit, I think Columbia has a very, very fine chance of winning this ball game tonight, based on the fact that Newmark is so effective against the St. John's defense. By the same token, I do feel that your boy McMillan certainly will come around a little bit stronger in the second half and probably shoot a little bit better than he did in the first half. If McMillan starts to come around offensively in the way he's coming off of Newmark for the 2-on-2 situation, this could be a very potent part of the offense's second half.
Columbia did not score in the first 4.5 minutes of the second half, but after falling behind in the seesaw battle, again came back.
Newmark spins, shoots, no good. McMillan gets the rebound, lays it up and in. Beautiful offensive rebound by Jim, and the Lions are up by 2, 39-37. 11-10 to go in the game.
Brilliant play by Dotson kept Columbia in the game, but with 6 straight points, St. John's regained the lead.
Dupre on the far side of the court, drives towards the foul line, now turns, whirls, puts up the jumper and hits. 47-44, and this boy Dupre is really showing us something tonight. McMillan for Columbia. They now trail by 3 with 6:40 to go in the game. Things are getting serious.
McMillan and John Warren began trading baskets as the Lions drew within 1 point with McMillan at the line and 2:57 to go.
He misses the first. Jim is having a tough night from the free throw line. He doesn't believe it. He puts his arms up to his face and he turns around from the foul line and walks away. I've never seen McMillan do that before. He's got one more coming. Let's hope he makes this one. He does. 51-51. We're all tied up with 2:56 to go in the game.
The score remained tied as the last 2 minutes of a thrilling festival began.
Dupre being guarded by Dotson. Can't get around Dotson. St. John's may be in a semi-press, a semi-stall. They're figuring they'll play for one shot. The worst they can do is tie. Now Calzanetti drives to the basket, lays it up, he misses. Columbia has the rebound. 2 minutes showing on the clock. Mets over to Walezik. The score is tied at 51. Walezik at the foul line. Hands off to Jim McMillian, and now the tables are turned. Columbia can do the same thing. Columbia in that semi-stall now. They'll play for one shot. Into McMillian. McMillian turns, lays it up, and I believe it's going to be goaltending. Goaltending call on Dan Cornelius. McMillan's bucket is going to count, and he was fouled. Win or lose this ball game, Jim McMillian is MVP. That's who we pick. McMillan puts it up, important one. He makes it. He makes it. 54-51. Now St. John's is down by 3 points. 54-51 with 1:39 to go. The last minute and 30 seconds of the ECAC Holiday Festival. Columbia can walk off with this championship. To Cornelius on the far side. Cornelius hands off to Richie Jackson. Jackson at the top of the key to Calzanetti. Calzanetti to Dupre. Lions don't want to foul here. Anything but foul. Dupre comes to the line. Hands off to Warren. Warren drives towards the basket. Lays it up and in. It's good. And there was a foul. Warren made the basket, but he committed an offensive foul. I believe that's his 5th. It should be his 5th. Now Bogan and Warren are both out. And McMillan is at the line for Columbia for a 1-and-1. 1:19 showing on the clock. Columbia in front 54-53. They just could walk off with this ECAC Holiday Festival. Jim is 4 for 10 from the foul line. This is going to be a big first shot. Jim puts it up. It's good! 55-53, the Lions by 2 points. McMillan has got one more coming. If he makes this one, Columbia is in front by 3 with 1:19. He puts up the second. It's good, too! 56-53, Columbia by 3. Calzanetti over the midcourt stripe. The Lions don't want to foul, anything but foul. Calzanetti gets it out to Cornelius. Cornelius to Calzanetti. Calzanetti drives towards the basket. Gets it out to Jackson. A minute to go on the clock. To Dupre all alone. Lays it up and in. 56-55. Columbia in front by 1. 59 seconds to go. All they got to do is hold the ball. McMillan now to Dotson. Dotson to Aim. To Metz. To Newmark. 51 seconds. Newmark guarded by Cornelius. To Metz on the far side. Lions moving the ball to McMillan. They're in that stall. To Metz. To Newmark. To Dotson. 34 seconds. To McMillan. Jim drives towards the basket and is fouled. Jim McMillan is fouled and fouled very hard as he goes to the floor. But with 30 seconds showing on the clock, Jim McMillan goes to the line for 2 shots. Jim in a real clutch situation. He puts up the first. It's good! 57-55. Jim McMillan hits on the first free throw. If he makes this one, all Columbia will have to do is not foul. He puts up the second. It's no good. Tap by Newmark, no good. St. John's has the ball. 27 seconds showing. Up to Dupre. They have a chance to tie. Dupre drives towards the basket, and Heyward Dotson fouls. Dotson fouls Dupre. It'll be 1-1. Dupre puts up the first one. It's no good, and McMillan has the rebound. 20 seconds showing on the clock. Columbia by 2. McMillan up to Metz. Metz is fouled. Possibly the most important point in Metz's career. The first one is up and in. This is a real Cinderella story. Bruce Metz has one more foul shot coming. If he makes this, the Lions will be in front by 4. Metz puts it up. It's no good, and a ball comes off to Cornelius. Cornelius up to Calzanetti quickly. 12 seconds. The Lions don't want to foul. Cornelius guns, misses. Rebound before ball comes off to Columbia. 7 seconds. All I have to do is hold it. To Metz. 5 seconds. 4 seconds. Metz lays it up. It's all over. The clock is over. 60-55. The Lions win, and the place is going crazy. Columbia is now the sole owner of the 1967 ACAC Holiday Festival trophy. The unbelievable has happened. I don't believe it. This Columbia team has come out of nowhere, beaten Louisville, beaten St. John's in the final, and no one will tell us now that we don't own New York.
McMillan closed with 25 points and 89 for the tournament. The reward was inevitable.
And now, the award for most valuable player. And they're all looking towards McMillan. And it's going to go to Jim McMillan. And listen to this roar. And Jack Rowan pats him, and McMillan walks out for the MVP. And listen to the roar.
Dotson had a fine tournament and helped spark the Lions in the second half. And Newmark was coming strong. Walezik, who did a fine job in Warren, was also important in the victory. Columbia had indeed matured as a team. After the festival, the Lions moved into 9th place in the UPI poll. Suddenly, Columbia had become a national basketball power. Still, the Ivy season remained. Led by Newmark's 40 points and 18 rebounds, Columbia trounced Yale. After 2 more wins, the Lions avenged a previous loss, routing Cornell 93-51. McMillan, Newmark, and Walezik all had 20 or more points, and Dotson stole the ball at least 7 times, as well as holding All-Ivy guard Greg Morris to 8 points. Penn fell next as the Lions prepared for the big one with Princeton. The Tigers, showing an 8-game winning streak, were undefeated in Ivy play. It was a game the Lions had to win. Princeton led by 3 at the half and built the lead to 7 early in the second half. Then, despite Newmark's 4th foul, Jim McMillan led the Lions back.
Columbia with a chance, breaking quickly, full court pass to McMillan, head of the field, up and in, and he was fouled. Fouled was Jim McMillan. Columbia has tied the game at 44, and now they have a chance to go in front.
5 McMillan free throws led the Lions as they opened the lead to 49-46.
Columbia ball out of bounds, 49-46, the Lions lead. They've come back. They've been as much as 7 points down. They're now up by 3. Dotson has it on the right side. Gets it back out to Metz on the left side of the key, and to McMillan in the left corner, who drives for the basket, goes up for the shot. Good! Jim McMillan showing Princeton why he's considered to be perhaps the best sophomore in the country. Bruce Metz brings it up for the Lions, being guarded by Jeff Petrie. Gets it across half court into Dotson on the right side of the key. Right back to Metz at half court. Now he gets it into Dotson on the left side of the key. Into McMillan in the left corner. McMillan looks to shoot. Now dribbles around, looks for a pick on Newmark. Goes all the way in for the shot. It's good. 6 minutes and 44 seconds left in the game. McMillan can make it 7. He does. 55-48, 30 points for Jim McMillian. 6:42 left as Heiser brings it across half court. Columbia has come alive in this fourth quarter period. Tomford has it on the right side of the foul line.
Princeton closed the gap to 55-51 with 5:40 to go when the Lions exploded.
Metz has it for the Lions, gets it into Dotson on the right side of the key. Dotson dribbles to the foul line, now underneath, goes up for the shot. Layup is no good. Newmark has it, goes up for the shot, good. Heyward Dotson missed the layup. Newmark almost with abandon. He wasn't going to let that four personal stop him there. He went up, got the rebound, went high over Tomford's head and put up the shot. 57-51. Petrie is called for turning over the ball. It's Columbia ball. 5 minutes and 15 seconds left in the game. Dotson has it on the right side. Into the corner to Walasic. Underneath. Goes up for the backhanded layup. It's good and he was fouled. Roger Walasic had his back turned to the basket. He was looking at the opposite basket, took the ball, put it over his head. It went in and he was fouled. Walasic's foul shot is no good. The rebound fought for. Newmark up for the tip. Has control. Goes up for the tip. It's good. Columbia leads by 10 points with 4 minutes and 16 seconds left. Dave Newmark. Dotson steals the ball. He has the ball going in for the layup. Goes up for the shot. Good. And with that, Jack Rowan pounds the floor. 63-51. The Lions are up by 12 points with 4 minutes. Heyward Dotson almost loses the ball, but now gets it into Roger Walasic on the right corner. McMillian underneath. Layup good. Columbia works the clock successfully. 65-33. McMillian has 32 points.
The Lions were in command and now held on for the prized win.
Dotson brings it across half court. Now they're going to slow things down. 1:21. Columbia up by 10. Dotson goes all the way home with him. Underneath. He scores. He moves so fast I couldn't get it out. Harlow, in this moment of desperation for Princeton, is supplying the points for the Tigers. Bruce Metz gets past while he's at the head of the key. McMillian in the left corner. Walasic underneath all alone. Good. Heyward Dotson loses the ball momentarily, but Newmark has it and dribbles down court by himself. Nice bit of ball handling by Newmark. Pass to Walasic. Walasic misses the ball momentarily, now has it. Passes it way back out to Newmark. Newmark is standing at half court. Throws the ball way up into the air. 2 seconds. 1 second. Columbia has won. Columbia has beaten Princeton 69-60.
McMillian finished with 32 points, 24 in the second half, and at one point scored 15 consecutive Columbia points. The Ivy race was now deadlocked. Walasic led Columbia past upset-minded Dartmouth in double overtime. The highlight of the next 3 wins for the now 6th-ranked Lions was a 115-point scoring performance against Harvard, a new single-game scoring record. Dotson with 28 points and 8 assists set a new season assist record. Ames's 23 points was a career high, and McMillian showed he could pass too, picking up 9 assists. With the Lions riding high, disaster struck. Newmark sprained an ankle in practice and would miss the final games. Ames's 10 for 10 from the field led the Lions past Brown, but Yale was a struggle. McMillian proved the difference, scoring 32 points and at one stretch 13 in a row, allowing the Lions to come from 6 points back in the second half to defeat Yale 67-61. That night, Dartmouth's upset win over Princeton gave the Lions sole possession of first place. Again, without Newmark, Columbia defeated Penn at the Palestra and headed for Princeton. Despite a fine effort, the Lions' 16-game winning streak was stopped as the Tigers, led by Petrie's 19 and Hummer's 27 points, forced a playoff 68-57. The stage was set for one of the most memorable nights in Columbia sports history. The night before the game, over 1,000 Columbia students held a spontaneous pep rally for the team. On Tuesday, March 5th, 4,000 Lion fans and 2,000 Princetonians crowded into St. John's Alumni Hall. The big question was Dave Newmark's status. Jack Rowan answered it on the pregame show.
At the present time, Dave is capable of moving, and with some effectiveness. I think he's limited. I don't know how well he can move defensively, but we're going to find out mighty fast because we're going to start him tonight.
There was electricity in the air, and the noise from the hungry Lion fans was deafening as the game began.
Hummer jumping against Newmark. Hummer wins the tap, but it comes to Billy Ames, and the crowd applauds. Ames brings the ball into the forecourt. Lions setting up. Dave Newmark, good to see him in that high post. To McMillian on the far side. Jim into Newmark in the high post. Dave towards the basket, up and in! Newmark scores! And the Lions are out in front 2-0.
Princeton took a 3-2 lead, but it proved to be their only one. The Lions, with the hobbling Newmark back in the pivot, played their game and opened up quickly.
The Dotson on the far side of the court. In the far corner to McMillian. He drives towards the basket, lays it up and in.
Jim McMillian drove right by John Hummer and laid it up and in. The Lions by 5, 11-6. Ames against Heiser at the top of the key to McMillian in the far corner. Jim shoots from 20 feet off the back of the rim. No good. Walasic follows good. 15-8. Roger Walasic all of a sudden coming alive. Ames on the far side to McMillian. Jim holds the ball, takes a couple of dribbles, fakes the shot, double team now, and he almost loses it, gets it back from Tomford, still has it. Now he goes up for the 18-footer and hits. 17-9 as Columbia moves in front by 8 points. Ames brings the ball up court, crosses over the midcourt line. Yells out the play from the top of the key, passes to Dotson on the left side. Dotson to McMillian. Jim fakes the shot. Now he goes up with it and hits. 21-10. The Lions by 11. And Jim McMillian is running wild.
Princeton twice closed the gap to 4, but Columbia always roared back.
Princeton could have had momentum there. Walasic to Dotson, head of the key. Dotson holds the ball above his head. Underneath to McMillian. He drives, lays it up and in. Columbia 31, Princeton 25. 15 points for Jim McMillian. Bruce Metz brings the ball up for Columbia as the Columbia fans set up a chant of go to McMillian. McMillian drives, stops at the head of the key to Dotson. Underneath to Borger. He drives, lays it up, and in! Larry Borger spinning away from Tomford scoring. And with a score, Columbia 33, Princeton 25. Timeout called by Princeton.
With the Lions in front by 6 late in the first half, one play made it clear whose night this was.
To Metz, it's knocked away by Heiser. He's ahead of the field, lays it up. No good! Heiser blew the easy one. And Heyward Dotson has the rebound. 28 seconds to go in the first half. Heiser was all alone and blew the layup.
The Lions led 41-33 at halftime, and newly appointed athletic director Ken Gurman expressed his views.
Something like this so unifies the entire university, the student body, the faculty, alumni. This is the kind of thing that we have to work for, and something like this exemplifies what we're striving for.
The Tigers fought back to a 6-point deficit early in the second half. They never got any closer.
The Dotson right at the top of the key. Heyward holds the ball behind his back and yells out a play, and the fans here love it. To Walasic right at the top of the key. Back to Dotson. He drives towards the basket on Petrie. Stops, turns towards the basket, goes up for the shot, and makes it. 48-38. The Lions moving out now by 10. And Heyward Dotson showing that he can beat Jeff Petrie and score over him. Dave takes one dribble, looks to pass out, finds Dotson. Dotson continues towards the basket. Short jump shot is good. And he was fouled by Jeff Petrie. Heyward Dotson made the shot and was fouled. Columbia by 12 points, 50-38. 14 minutes, 26 seconds to go in the game. And Dotson is at the line for one shot. Metz to Walasic. Walasic almost loses it. Now drives towards the basket. Layup is good. Lions by 15, 53-38. 13 minutes, 50 seconds to go in the game. And Columbia is moving towards that Ivy title faster and faster.
After that, there was little trouble. Princeton got into serious foul difficulties as the Lions' lead eventually reached 24 points. Indeed, the rest was gravy.
Heiser, low post to Hummer. He spins on McMillian, drives, double team, shoots. No good. McMillian fights for the rebound and gets it. To Dotson, fast break Columbia. To Walasic ahead of the field, lays it up and in. Ames from 10. Around, no good. Newmark tap, Walasic, good! Columbia 65, Princeton 48, 8:19 to go. Walasic spins around Hummer, drives to the baseline, goes all the way, and is fouled by Hummer. That's number 5 on John Hummer. He's out. John Hummer, who scored 27 points Saturday night, has 10 tonight. Minus 17 for John. Jim McMillian said that John Hummer would not score 27 tonight, and Jim was right. To Walasic, underneath, all alone, McMillian lays it up, and in! Columbia by 20 again. McMillian completes a three-point play. Columbia up by 19. 38 for McMillian. McMillian checks out. Listen to the hand. Seconds. Up court to Kenny Brown, ahead of the field, lays it up, and in! Columbia 92, Princeton 74. 3, 2, 1, that's all over! Columbia wins the Ivy title. Coach Rowan smiles. It's all over. Columbia 92, Princeton 74. Columbia Ivy title winners.
A trip to the Columbia locker room found some joyous people. First, Dave Newmark, the big man who, despite a bad ankle, made a big difference.
Dave, come on over. Say a few words. Here's the man who no one knew whether he was going to start tonight in tonight's ball game, and he came in and played a whale of a ball game. Dave, how does it feel to be a on the Ivy League championship team?
Feels great, fantastic. It's been my goal since I've come to Columbia, and it's finally realized now.
Well, Dave, you played a great ball game tonight. How does the ankle feel?
It's a little tender, but it didn't hurt me that much, and I think everybody on the team came through beautifully.
Roger Walezik scored 20 points and played brilliantly.
And Roger, how does it feel to be on an Ivy League championship team?
It feels great. It's the greatest experience of all my life. I just hope we can do well at College Park in Maryland.
Big hero was, of course, Jim McMillian, who scored 37 and held Hummer to 10.
And Jim, last night at the pep rally out on College Walk, you said it was going to be different today, and you certainly were right.
Well, I said I was going to put on my Superman costume in the first half, and I guess I had it on. I guess we all had one on.
Heyward Dotson was also superb, holding Petrie to 7 and scoring 19 himself.
And Heyward had 19 points in the ball game. And last night, Howard, at College Walk, you said that tonight you were going to give a different definition to the word defense. Do you think you did that?
I think the results speak for themselves.
What do you think Princeton was tougher tonight than they were on Saturday night, or were they tougher Saturday? What was the main difference out there tonight?
I think the Columbia support was the main difference in this game. I think the show of force made by the school was just tremendous, and I know the ball players on the team appreciate it greatly.
Finally, Coach Rowan tells how it felt to be Ivy champs.
So great, I'll tell you. I just feel like sitting down in the corner right now and having a good cry.
What was the difference out there tonight as opposed to in the ball game on Saturday night? What did Columbia do differently?
We just moved. We played our offense the way we're supposed to. I think we've got a pretty good movement on our offense, and tonight we did it, and I imagine we've had many games this year where we've had 30 assists in a ball game, and I think tonight would probably be another example of this. The boys really moved, and of course I feel our defense was good. This is a great Princeton team, and I think it's a wonderful thing that we could win.
The Ivy champs now headed for College Park, Maryland, where led by Dotson's 32 points, Columbia won its first NCAA game ever, defeating LaSalle 83-69. At Raleigh, the Lions were finally stopped as Davidson, winners of 13 in a row, won in double overtime 61-59. Columbia fought back from a 10-point deficit to take the lead, only to falter several times at the free throw line in what was not one of their best performances. Dotson, Newmark, and McMillan were superb, with McMillan shutting out Mike Malloy in the second half. In the consolation game the next night, Columbia closed out a memorable year, defeating third-ranked St. Bonaventure 95-75. Dotson, McMillan, Newmark, Ames, and Borger hit for double figures, as Newmark and Borger more than equalized Bonnie star Bob Lanier. The 67-68 season, perhaps the greatest in Columbia basketball history, was over, with the Lions finishing 23-5. The team and individuals gained numerous honors. The Lions ended the year ranked 6th and 7th nationally in the two polls. They were ECAC Division I champs as well as Holiday Festival and Ivy champs. McMillan won the Haggerty Award as the outstanding player in New York City, the first sophomore to do this. He won numerous All-American, All-East, and All-Met honors and was the ECAC Sophomore of the Year. He and Newmark were first-team All-Ivy, and Dotson was second-team. Heyward set a Columbia's single-season assist record with 115 and a new field goal percentage record. Ames won the Joe Lapchick Award, and Coach Rowan won the Everett Morris Coach of the Year Award. It was an amazing, balanced team with 4 players averaging double figures, led by McMillan's 22.3 and Newmark's 16.8 point-per-game averages. Dotson added scoring, playmaking, and brilliant defense. Steady contributions in all columns came from Walezik and Ames, and Metz and Borger gave the Lions 2 top reserves. Using a tough man-to-man defense and a patient offense, these players made Columbia one of the top teams in the nation. With 4 starters returning, the following season and prospects of a better NCAA performance look good. Jim McMillian emerged as a new Columbia hero. Jim looks back at the holiday and playoff wins and his performance.
I think, at this point I can appreciate those victories much more than I could then, because at that time we were caught up in, and everything, and I was much younger then, and I just didn't comprehend, I don't think, the meaning of those victories in the holiday festival and the playoff game. I felt I had a very good year this sophomore year. For one thing, it was not too much pressure on on me to produce at that time. Most of the teams were concentrating their defense on Dave, and so I had a chance to relax while I was playing. I guess that was one of the main reasons why I had such a good year.
Finally, Jack Rowan recalls another memorable aspect of the season.
The thing that I probably remember more than the national ranking, the festival, winning the championship, beating Princeton in a playoff, doing so well in the Eastern Regionals was the unbelievable spirit that this team created on this Columbia campus. People who later on became so far apart because of the riots were, and even at that moment may have been very far apart in political ideology or personal preferences of many things, were seated together, were cheering, were waiting for this team to come back from trips. I think the other thing that I remember, and the thing that actually broke me up, was the fans, the Columbia fans, waiting for us, being at St. John's 2 to 2.5 hours before the playoff game with Princeton, and then to see this so-called apathetic Ivy League, long-haired, etc., group spontaneously, an hour and a half before we were to go on the floor, standing up some 3,000 or 4,000 strong at St. John's and singing Columbia songs. No cheerleaders to make them do it. They did it because they were so wrapped up in what was going on and such great pride in Columbia. And it wasn't after we won the championship, it was before we played that game. And I think that's the thing that broke me up. And I still remember saying words to the team in the effect, we're not much for giving win this one for the Gipper type speeches in the locker room, but saying words in essence to the team that we just can't let these people down. I think this had a lot to do with the fact that we went out and we really stomped on them right away, and it was a great win, and this was a great, great Princeton team.
The 1968-9 season received a jolt months before the season started when center Dave Newmark passed up his final year of eligibility to sign with the Chicago Bulls. Despite this, hopes were still high as McMillian, Dotson, and Captain Roger Walasic remained. John Schiller opened at center and Bruce Metz at the other guard spot, with a flashy sophomore ball handler, Elliott Wolf, backing him up. After trouncing CCNY, NYU gave the Lions a big scare in Columbia's first appearance in the new Garden. NYU led by 3 with seconds to go.
Blaze is going to drive. The shot is good, and there's a foul on the play. Here is the free throw. It's up. It's no good. It's short. The rebound comes to Columbia. It's good. The Lions rounds up by 1. It was Leon Williams. 5 seconds. 4 seconds. The rebound in Columbia. Columbia has won the game. The Lions win.
An impressive victory, 74-57 over a strong Rutgers team followed. And the Lions then won for the first time in 10 years at Cornell as Walasic, Dotson, Schiller, and Bruce Fogel led the way. Lehigh and previously unbeaten Fordham fell, and Columbia headed for Hawaii and the Rainbow Classic in Honolulu. After edging Stanford, the Lions encountered Rick Mount and the strong Purdue team, a team Coach Rowan referred to as having a legion of good ball players. McMillian took charge in the first half, scoring 10 of the Lions' first 12 points from outside against Purdue's zone, leading Columbia to a 37-32 halftime lead. McMillian was 8 for 9 for 16 points. In the second half, Columbia opened up a 10-point lead and looked to be in command.
Leon Williams inbounds the ball to Wolf. Purdue pressing. Lead pass to Dotson. Dotson lead to McMillian. Drives the lane. Lays it in. Beautiful play. Jim McMillian hobbling a little bit in his left tendon, which had been bothering him, but he shakes it off and is all right. Columbia up by 12 points again. Gilliam over to Keller on the right side. Keller starts to drive around Dotson. Drives the lane. Lays it up. No good. Rebound. Battle for and comes to McMillian. Keller ran into a pack of Lions and tried an underhanded layup and missed it. Dotson brings across the 10-second line, loses the ball to Faber. Faber to Gilliam. Gilliam 1-on-1, back of the hand pass, and it's battled for and comes to Jim McMillian. McMillian over to Wolf. Wolf to Walasic. Drives the lane, lays it in. Right lane drive by Roger Walasic. Columbia leads by 14 points with 8:33 to go.
With 7.5 minutes to go, Walasic fouled out and Purdue got hot. With 2:54 showing on the clock, the lead was down to 7.
Keller on the right side, dribbles to his left, passes to Weatherford. Weatherford over to Mount on the left side. Mount moves to his left, now to his right, moves over, loses the ball. Battle for it, comes down to Keller. Elliott Wolf was blocked in his attempt to get the ball. Mount shoots from the left of the key, around and good. Mount just does not miss tonight. 71-66, Lions lead to Dotson at the left of the key. The Lions up by 5. Dotson tries to drive down the 3-second lane, laces up, good. Now we'll have to wait and see what the referees say. The basket is good.
We had to wait for the signal because there was a foul on the play.
Foul is on Bedford of Purdue, and Dotson will try and complete the three-point play.
Heyward shot. Good. Three-point play for Heyward. Lions lead 74-66. 8 points, 1:48 to go.
Mount and Bill Keller each hit 2 foul shots, bringing Purdue to within 4.
1:01, 1 minute to go. To McMillian on the right side. McMillian back to Metz. Metz holds over his head. Moves to his left. To Dotson at the foul line. Dotson starts to drive down the lane. Lays it up. Good! Big drive layup by Heyward Dotson. 47 seconds. Rick Mount on the right side. Now starts to drive. His pass goes out of bounds off of John Schiller. Purdue bringing the ball out. To Gilliam underneath. Lays it in. 76-72. 39 seconds. Metz holds the ball over his head. Tries to move. Guarded by Keller. Guarded very tightly to Elliott Wolf. Wolf trying to cross, and now finally he does not cross the 10-second line. 28 seconds to go. Wolf did not cross the 10-second line. Purdue ball, 4-point spread. Weatherford now at the foul line. Shoots from there. Around. No good. Rebound battle for it. It goes across the 10-second line. Mount's got it with 20 seconds. 19 seconds. Mount's guarded by Wolf. Behind the back. Scored by Bruce Smith. Smith driving to the basket. Raise it up. Oh, my God. Columbia has got a 78-72 lead. Full court pass to Keller. Keller drives baseline. Lays it up. Good. He's got 4 seconds. Columbia leading by 4. Metz. He gets the ball to McMillian. McMillian. And the ball game is over. The ball game is over. Columbia has beaten Purdue.
Okay, Jim, the Lions have defeated Purdue, one of the top 10 teams in the country. Both teams shaking hands with each other. Quite a game indeed.
And quite a game it was. The Lions' 643 shooting, McMillan's 27 and Dotson's 23 points were just enough to overcome Mount's 30 points and Purdue's 547 shooting in the 78-74 Lion win. Coach Rowan, looking back, calls this the greatest Lion win in the past 2 years.
I think the victory that produced the greatest flow of wild enthusiasm from the team itself was beating Purdue. They were a great team who eventually wound up in the championship game against UCLA. And we played our game, we put it to them, and they wound up playing our game also, and we beat them. I can still remember guys, screaming and carrying on and hugging and really pounding each other because of the great significance of that win for them.
Columbia, with an 8-0 record, was once again in a championship game, facing 6th-ranked Santa Clara. After trailing by, at one point, 14 points and 6 at halftime, the Lions closed in. With 8:47 to go, Columbia was ready to move to its biggest lead.
As Metz calls out the clock, 8:47 to go in the game. The Lions by 1. To Schiller. To Heyward Dotson. McMillian is double-teamed underneath, but now he gets the pass in the right corner. Holds the ball high above his head. Moves behind the pick by Starr. Takes a jump over Autry. Good! Columbia 48, Santa Clara 45.
Again, Lazic fouled out and trouble struck. Bud Ogden got hot and led Santa Clara back for the lead. McMillian, on the other hand, did not get hot, and the Lions came out on the short end of the score, 64-58. 6'10" Dennis Autry led the Broncos with 27 points, although George Starr came off the bench and did a creditable job on him. Still, it was a successful tournament, and Columbia again showed it was one of the top basketball teams in the country. The Lions, now ranked 14th in the nation, returned east to defeat Cornell and Yale and Ed Brown. Georgetown was destroyed 103-62, and Calvin Murphy and Niagara came to University Gymnasium. Murphy, as expected, put on a show.
It goes to Calvin Murphy at the left side of the key. Murphy trying to drive on Metz. Goes underneath. The layup is good. At that time, Murphy got around Metz without trouble and went in for the easy layup.
Much of the evening went the other way.